Hey guys, Dalek44 here. I need no introduction, but I got one anyway. Well, it's Valentine's Day. The day that people know that you love each other and give each other boxes of chocolates. Now the chocolates are delicious, and that's one of the best gifts to give on Valentine's Day. But that's just my opinion anyway. And it's also full of Valentine's Day specials at times. And even when it's not Valentine's Day, there's always got to be a love story in a movie or TV series. But which love stories do I love the most? Well, since it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to show you my top 10 love stories of all time. Now these are mostly stuff from when I was growing up, so it's just my opinion. So with that said, sit back and enjoy my top 10 love stories. Number 10. Tommy and Kimberly from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This was one of the first shows I've seen that actually had a love story between two of the main characters. Now some of you might be wondering why I didn't put Rita and Lord Zed on the list. I mean, I do love those two characters, they're two of my favourite villains from Power Rangers. But their love wasn't really meaningful. Rita gave Zed a love potion which made him fall in love with her, so it doesn't really count, does it? But Tommy and Kimberly were true lovers. I mean, it was love at first sight ever since Tommy's appearance in the show. And they even got to kiss sometime later when Tommy lost his powers. But it was really nice to see them together again in Season 2 when he got his White Ranger powers. So yeah, Tommy and Kimberly are two of my favourite love stories. I don't really have much to say about it, so yeah, Tommy and Kimberly, love it. Number 9. Phineas and Isabella from Phineas and Ferb. Now I haven't seen that many Phineas and Ferb episodes, and from what I could tell, a lot of people aren't too keen on it because it doesn't really make much sense. And I can understand why. I mean, like, two kids building things, it just doesn't seem possible in real life. And of course, Perry the Platypus as a secret agent battling Dr. Doofenshmirtz is fun for the kids. But one thing I do enjoy from the show is the relationship between Phineas and Isabella. I mean, she loves him so much, but most of the times he doesn't really notice. I mean, Isabella tries to get Phineas's attention, but he's mostly too busy doing his projects to notice. And half the time he doesn't even understand it. And I thought it was kind of cute how she finally got to kiss him in the film. So Phineas and Isabella, I really enjoy that love story, and I hope they got plans to take it further. Number 8. Stitch and Angel from Lilo and Stitch. After watching the movie Lilo and Stitch, I got into the TV show. And I really got into the love story they had between Angel and Stitch. I mean, it's really cute to see two genetic experiments being in love with each other. That's kind of cute. Though my only downside is that they don't show a lot of it in the American show. And I just hope to God that they don't do a Japanese version of it. Oh yeah, that's right, they did. Now don't get me wrong, I do like the Japanese animation. But I'm just not too keen on the idea that they didn't get the same actors from the original show. I mean, from what I could tell, none of the original actors from the American version of the show came in to do the voices for the Japanese version. Not even Tara Strong as Angel, and she has one of the cutest voices in the world. But one thing they did do okay is exploring more of Stitch and Angel's relationship, even though they pictured Angel to be spoilt and kind of snooty. But I still enjoy it anyway. In fact, the cute Angel and Stitch moments are the only moments I look forward to in the Japanese episodes, and as soon as those bits are over, then so are my tolerance for the Japanese bit. So, Angel and Stitch, I pretty much enjoy that love story, yeah. Number 7. Sooty and Sue. I used to watch the Sooty Show and Sooty and Co. a lot when I was younger. It was one of those things I used to put on when I didn't really want to watch anything by Disney or Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, it's kind of funny, their relationship, because Sooty doesn't really talk, he just whispers into people's ears. And only the people who he whispers into their ears understands what he's trying to say. And I like how Sue the panda was the first puppet to talk in the show. And I think their relationship is really cute. I mean, they kiss and they play together. And they even got to marry each other in a dream. That's really cool. So yeah, I enjoy the Sooty and Sue love triangle. It's really enjoyable. Number 6. Donald and Daisy Duck. Now, Donald Duck was one of the first Disney cartoons I got into, besides Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and DuckTales. And I really enjoyed Donald Duck's temperament and how he gets pissed off over everything that goes wrong. Another thing I quite like from it is his love life with Daisy Duck. And from what I've seen in the cartoons with Daisy Duck and Minnie Mouse is that she can be a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. But she is good-hearted, and does have a soft spot for Daffy, even though he has a bit of a temper about him. But one thing I never got from the Disney cartoons was that in Daisy's first appearance, she sounded very much like Donald, and then in the later cartoons, to the cartoons we see today, she has her own female voice. And I never really understood that. Why did they do that? I don't know, I don't care. It's just enjoyable. Number 5. Stan and Wendy from South Park. Now I gotta say, this has to be the first love story I've seen in South Park. In fact, it must have been the first love story ever to be in South Park. But I find it really funny how Stan is in love with Wendy, but every time she tries to talk to him, he always throws up. That's kind of funny. I mean, I haven't seen any love stories where one of the people actually throws up when the loved one goes near them. That's the first time I've actually seen that happen. And their love life has gotten better and better throughout the show. Well, apart from that season where they break up. And then sometime after that they get back together again and they're still in love, for all I know. And another thing I don't get from this is Wendy's change in voices. I mean, in the first few episodes she sounded like a slightly higher pitched version of Minnie Mouse. But then as the show went on, she started to sound more and more like a grown woman. I don't really get that. But I suppose it's something to do with her age. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. But Stan and Wendy, I enjoy their love story, and it's really funny. Number 4. Kooky and Wally from Codenamed Kids Next Door. This is one of the Cartoon Network shows that I watched during my secondary school years. And even though I was a bit old for that at the time, I still enjoyed it. I mean, the show was funny and it was dramatic at times. It was a lot more than I expected from a kids' show. And I also enjoyed the love story they had between number 3, aka Kooky Sandbarn, and number 4, aka Wallaby Beetles. I mean, it's just a really enjoyable relationship they have. I mean, they often enjoy being with each other at times, but are both too shy to admit that they love each other. I think that's pretty cool. And I think they're too shy about revealing their feelings because they have different personalities. I mean, number 3 is really cute and loves to dance and loves cuddly toys and all that. While number 4 is a tough guy who likes to punch things and all that. So, it's a sort of a funny love story, isn't it? But yeah, Kooky and Wally, I do enjoy it a lot. Number 3. Sonic and Sally from Sonic Sat AM. This was the first Saturday morning cartoon I ever saw as a kid, and it's also the darkest I've ever seen as a kid. I mean, we all know how dark and enjoyable Sonic Sat AM is, so it's pretty much pointless for me to talk about it since so many people, even the Nostalgia Critic, have talked about it. But a lot of people really enjoyed the Sonic and Sally love story. And the character Sally has a big cult following, like you Google Sonic Sat AM on Google and a lot of pictures for Sally come up. It's like the character has become really popular with a lot of people. And one of the things that they go all fanboy for is the Sonic and Sally relationship. And I pretty much enjoyed it when I was a kid too. And I pretty much enjoyed it when I was a kid as well. And sort of like the Kooky and Wally relationship, both the characters have different personalities. I mean, Sonic's a cool guy who likes to take things easy and loves to joke about at times. And also is very proud of his speed. While Sally is an intelligent and able woman who will do whatever it takes to bring the green back to Mobius. And there were times when Sally couldn't really stand to be around Sonic, but by the end it turns out that they're both in love with each other. And it's been showing a lot throughout the show, especially in the kiss and the ending of the last episode. So that's another great love story, and I think it always will be as well. Number 2. Sonia and Knuckles from Sonic Underground. This is another one of those love stories that gets a lot of images up from Google search. And I didn't really expect that kind of love life. I mean, Sonia Hedgehog dating Knuckles. I didn't actually expect that. But nevertheless, it was pretty enjoyable. And the funny thing was that we only had 3 episodes to explore their love life. Why couldn't they have made more episodes with them together? I mean, if the show stayed on longer than it did, they could have had more time to explore their love life. But oh well. Sonia and Knuckles is another enjoyable love story, and I always enjoy going back to watch it every time I put a DVD of Sonic Underground on. And my number 1 love story is Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Now I'm sure a lot of you already knew this. Again, like the Looney Tunes and Donald Duck, these are some of the earliest things I grew up watching as a kid. And I do enjoy these Mickey Mouse cartoons, old and new. Well, besides Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, that's just too child-friendly. I mean, the original Mickey Mouse cartoons were something that people of all ages could enjoy. But I'm drifting slightly from the point here. What I love about the Mickey and Minnie Mouse relationship is that they really do love each other and nothing ever comes between them all the time. Well, except maybe Pete and Mortimer. But there were a couple of times when they did break up, but in the end they always come back to each other. That's really adorable. And actually, watching Mickey and Minnie Mouse's cartoons again, I realised that I did take a lot of Thomas and Rosie's love life from this relationship. Like how cute their love life is and how they never marry. And having said that, Mickey and Minnie have got married a couple of times. I mean, they were already married in Mickey's Christmas Carol, and they got married at the end of the Mickey's Around the World in 80 Days, which, as you know, is one of my favourite Mickey Mouse cartoons, and the inspiration to create Thomas Around the World in 80 Days, of course. But one thing I don't get about Minnie Mouse is that in the really old cartoons, and the late 90s to early 2000s cartoons, she never really wore a top. All she wore was a bow, a dress, knickers, and her shoes. But in the more recent drawings, you see her with a full-body dress on. And I don't really get that. I don't see what Disney's covering up. I mean, Minnie doesn't have any nipples. And from a lot of the Minnie Mouse products I've seen, like backpacks and like beauty boxes and all that, they've always had pictures of Minnie's back facing you, showing off her butt. But I don't really get that. Why would they want to try and make her attractive? She's supposed to be cute. But I digress. Like I said, I really do enjoy Mickey and Minnie Mouse's relationship, and how they were only married twice, as far as I know. Well, actually, I take it back. They were going to get married at the end of the Midsummer Night's Dream special, but that dream ended up getting interrupted by Mickey waking up, so technically it never happened. And I don't know if it's just me, but most of Mickey and Minnie's kisses look more like snogs. I mean, when you look at their like mouth-to-mouth kisses, it just looks like they're snogging rather than a proper kiss. It's almost as if Disney was trying to sneak in a little snog into Disney cartoons. But Mickey and Minnie Mouse are always going to be my favourite love stories. They're always going to be my number 1 love stories. And yeah, those are my top 10 love stories. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And remember, if you have a loved one out there, send her a box of chocolates. You can't go wrong with a box of chocolates. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and I'll see you next time.